They thought they could erase me. My own family, my blood, conspired to take everything that was meant to be mine. But greed makes people careless. And when I found the real will, hidden away in an old lawyer's vault, I didn't just take back what was mine. I destroyed them. When my grandfather passed away, the house went cold. Not because of his death alone, but because of what followed. He had been the backbone of our family, strict, yes, but fair. He built his fortune with his own 2 hands, turning a failing farm into a real estate empire. And he always promised me, when I'm gone, you'll be taken care of. But the day after his funeral, my parents and uncles gathered in the living room. I wasn't invited, but I overheard enough. They spoke of a will. A document that apparently left everything, the properties, the land, the businesses, to them. Not a single mention of me. I was stunned. I wasn't greedy, but I couldn't believe my grandfather would cut me out completely. Something felt wrong. When I asked to see the will, they brushed me off. It's legal business, my uncle said. You wouldn't understand. But I wasn't stupid. My grandfather had loved me more than anyone. He used to say I was the only one who cared about him for him, not his money. So why would he leave me nothing? The document they showed me looked odd. It was typed, not handwritten. My grandfather had always insisted on signing in ink. The signature seemed shaky, unlike his usual confident strokes. I began to suspect the unthinkable. My family had hidden the real will. Weeks passed. I tried moving on, but something gnawed at me. One evening, I visited my grandfather's old study. The room smelled of old books and pipe smoke, like he was still there. While sorting through drawers, I found a yellowed receipt from a law office I didn't recognize. It was dated just 3 months before his death. It said, "Will storage, confidential." My heart raced. If my family had hidden the real will, maybe this was the key. The next day, I went to the address. It was an old brick building, nearly abandoned. The sign read, Harper & Sons, Attorneys at Law. Inside, dust covered the shelves. Only one elderly clerk remained. When I showed him the receipt, his tired eyes widened. He disappeared into the back and returned with a sealed envelope. This was placed in our vault under strict instructions, he said. It was meant to be opened after your grandfather's death, by you. My hands shook as I broke the seal. Inside was my grandfather's real will. And it was nothing like the forgery my family had waved around. The real will left the majority of his estate to me, his businesses, his properties, everything. He had left smaller portions to my parents, uncles, and cousins, but it was clear, I was his chosen heir. My blood boiled. They had known. They had hidden this. They tried to erase me, to steal everything. But now, I had proof. I didn't confront them right away. Revenge tastes better when it's served cold. I hired a lawyer, someone outside the family, someone ruthless. We filed the real will in court. My family was blindsided when the summons arrived. The courtroom was packed the day of the hearing. My uncles stammered. My parents looked pale. The judge examined both wills. Handwriting experts confirmed the forgery. The signature on their document was fake. The judge's gavel came down. The court recognizes the will presented by the decedent's grandson as the legitimate last testament. The room erupted. My family's faces twisted in rage, disbelief, and shame. New Moon Part 7, The Revenge. It wasn't just about money anymore. It was about justice. They had schemed behind closed doors, whispered lies, and forged documents to erase me. But in the end, their greed destroyed them. They not only lost control of the estate, they were investigated for fraud. My uncles lost their businesses. My parents, humiliated, were cut off from the wealth they had tried to steal. And me? I walked into the house my grandfather built, the deed in my hand, and whispered into the silence. I kept your promise, Grandpa. Family betrayal cuts deeper than any knife. But sometimes, justice finds a way to crawl back from the shadows. They thought they had buried the truth in darkness. But the truth has a habit of clawing its way back to the surface. And in the end, it buried them instead.